Okay, guys, the truth is you may come across a job or a data that will require you to be sorting and filtering data. Okay, now the sort function in Excel, as we have said, is one of the most useful things in Excel. Sometimes we want to be able to identify the larger, smaller value, the earliest or later value, organizing things alphabetically or any other way. And we can do all of that through sorting. But there are a few key things to keep in mind, and that's the point of this video. And some of the exercise you are going to be doing, okay? When you have a job, now we are going to on the home menu. As you can see, my cursor is moving around. I think it's more useful to go into the data tab, where we have more detailed, more complete sort and the filter functions there. So that's what we are going to be working with. Our first job is that we are going to sort our weather data by the daily high temperature. And basically, we are going to put this in order, where we are looking at which months have the lowest daily high temperature on average, and which one have the highest daily temperature. So we want to sort out data sets so that temperature is ascending, so is climbing as well. We are going to do that by by clicking on this button here. Now, this is one of the most important things to think about. If we select our column of interest, as I have our daily high temperature, and then we choose to sort it, Excel immediately gives us a warning here. It suggests we expand the selection from this one column, because it's suggesting that we probably want to sort all our data together and not just this one column. And this is absolutely correct. This is a place where we do what we do want to listen to. Okay, think about what will happen if we simply sort temperature. We only sort temperature, then those temperatures are no longer going to be associated with the correct month. They are not going to be associated with the correct precipitation, and basically we've messed up our data set. And so this is a really critical thing to think about. Even when we want to sort by one column, we want to sort our entire data set usually. So we are going to take Excel advice and we are going to expand the selection. Once we do that, now Excel is going to ask us to what we want to sort by. We are going to sort by daily high temperature. We are going to use the cell values, the numbers in the Excel, as our data, as our sort criteria rather. We are going to go from smallest to largest. We are going to increase the temperature as we are going down in the spreadsheet. It's going to be an ascending sort. The data has headers. Excel recognize this. And so yes, we are not sorting, we are not including that first row of data. That's fantastic, because that would be confusing also. So let's go ahead and click OK and see what we have. We know sort did something because we see our index values. This is where having an index column can be really useful. It tells us when our data are in some order than the original order that we had them in. We could tell that by looking at those as well. It is what it is. Okay, so we do indeed see that our months with the lowest daily high temperature around, as you can see there, and our highest is August. It's July with about 8-9 degrees Fahrenheit. So this worked very effectively, and every other data point sorted along with that. So our data still has integrity. We can say that this first row is all associated with January. This last row is all associated with July, and that's really critical when we are thinking about sorting. Now, often when the sort, this is a temporary way of manipulating our data. We want to make sure we can get it back to the original format. We want everything to get back in order. There are several ways we can do this. If sorting was the last thing we did, then we can just use our undo keyboard shortcut control. All right. Are you looking at where my cursor is going? So that's one option, is using Control Z just to undo that sort. But that won't work if you sorted your data a while ago and did a whole bunch of things in between. So I've just resorted it so we can look at some other ways. What are some other ways you can think of where we can resort this data back into the original order? I can think of at least two ways. Now, we are seeing the value of that index column, right? If we want to put this data set back into the original order, we can just resort. But we are going to do it by index this time. We will reorganize those from smallest to largest. And boom, look at it. We now have our data back in the original order. This is part of the reason I like to have an index or an ID column in almost any data set. I'm working it where it can really help you sort issues like the one we solve here. Okay, so look at it. We know that our data, we are originally in the order of months, and so let's see if we can sort order based on month. Now the first option we are giving here is to sort A to Z, and that's not really going to give us what we want. We don't want our months sorted alphabetically. Maybe we would at some point, but that's not what we want. We want them back in calendar year order, so we can do that. Yeah, if we choose the drop down on the other menu, we can go here to custom list, and if we look at this custom list, we can create our own list and put any order we want. Or as you see, there are some other standard lists: days of the week, months. So let's go with this list of months, of 4 months. That's the order we want things in. The order will be January, February, March, and the rest. And we click OK. And voila, our order data goes back into the original order. So it's another way of supporting in going back to that original format. It's always useful when you are manipulating. When you are changing your data, make sure you have some way to get it back to the original. All right, so guys, this is it.